Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever watched an artist panic in real time? Not just fall off quietly, but scramble, lash out, and desperately try to hold on to relevance while the numbers tell a completely different story? Because that's exactly what's happening right now with Drake and 21 Savage. And what makes this moment different, what makes it dangerous for them, is that this isn't just one bad song or one underperforming release. This feels like a turning point, a moment where the tricks stop working, the excuses stop landing, and the illusion finally cracks. Their latest record, Mr. Recoup, was supposed to stabilize things. It was supposed to be the lifeline. Instead, it's shaping up to be one of the worst debuts of Drake's entire year and easily one of the most embarrassing lead moments of 21 Savage's career. And what they're doing next to try and save it. That's where this gets ugly. Before we go further, support me by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. It helps a lot. This isn't about one song failing. This is about an entire era losing its grip. For years, Drake and his circle represented a version of hip-hop that thrived on shortcuts, chasing moments instead of meaning, volume instead of value, optics instead of artistry. And whenever that approach was questioned, the response was always the same. But here's the problem. The numbers aren't saving them anymore. After Kendrick Lamar blew the doors off that entire system, exposing how influence can't be faked forever, the game changed. And now, the same artists who once dismissed rappers are stuck watching those same artists dominate the culture while their own releases quietly bleed out. 21 Savage was supposed to be the exception, the stabilizer, the one who could still bring authenticity while keeping Drake afloat. Instead, this project exposed how deep the rot really goes. Out of 21 Savage's album, What Happened to the Streets, one song clearly stands above the rest. And not because people genuinely love it. It's because every single resource is being funneled into it. Playlist placement, social media mentions, subtle promotion pushes. It's obvious which track they're trying to prop up. And yet, it's still sinking. That's the part nobody defending this record wants to talk about. Even with all the attention, Mr. Recoup is barely holding on, struggling to maintain daily momentum while the rest of the album falls off a cliff. And when artists start pushing one record this aggressively, it usually means one thing. They're scared of what the raw data looks like. Now let's talk about Drake's behavior, because it matters. While this song is slipping, Drake is out here snapping at Ebro, throwing shots at Peter Rosenberg, and spiraling publicly in ways we haven't seen before. And no matter how fans try to spin it, this isn't confidence. This is frustration. This is what happens when someone who built their career on being untouchable suddenly realizes that the shield is gone. Every angry DM, every petty response, every bitter outburst tells the same story. The pressure is getting to him. Because behind the scenes, Drake knows something the public is just starting to realize. The Drake feature doesn't move crowds the way it used to. Let's get into the data. In its first 3 days, what happened to the streets? Pulled in roughly 27 million streams. Now, that might sound decent, until you remember that Kendrick Lamar's GNX pulled 44 million streams in just 7 hours. Not days, hours. And it gets worse. Every track on 21's album shows steep drop-offs. No viral growth. No sleeper hits. No late bloomers. Just decline. The only song barely crossing 1 million streams per day by day 3? You guessed it, Mr. Recoup. And when you compare that to her Lost era numbers, where Rich Flex alone outperformed entire albums, the falloff becomes impossible to ignore. Here's where the coping usually starts. It's the holidays. Christmas music is dominating. Everything slows down this time of year. Except that excuse doesn't hold up. Because while Drake and 21 are stuck mid-chart, Pooh Shiresty's First Day Out is sitting at #1. And last time anyone checked, that's not a Christmas song. When a Raw Street record is outperforming holiday classics and Drake, the problem isn't timing. It's relevance. This moment exposes something important. Hip-hop isn't struggling. Rap isn't dead. Audiences didn't suddenly stop caring. They just stopped caring about lazy music. Artists who show hunger, bars, and purpose are thriving. Artists who rely on gimmicks, algorithm games, and nostalgia are being left behind. Pusha T didn't win because of playlists. He won because people felt the record. And that's exactly what Drake and 21's release is missing. Here's a stat that should scare every artist chasing a Drake verse. Mr. Recoup debuted at number 75 on Spotify, then dropped to number 128 the very next day. Globally and domestically, the song couldn't hold attention. That's not just underperformance, that's listener rejection. When Drake features used to guarantee top 10 debuts, this kind of drop-off was unthinkable. Now it's becoming normal, and that should terrify anyone still betting on his name alone. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Drake has history. We've seen suspicious streaming spikes before. We've seen sudden upticks that didn't match conversation. We've seen tracks artificially rise, then immediately collapse. From Doghouse to the Central C collaboration, the pattern is familiar. So when Mr. Recoup starts showing strange inconsistencies, people aren't paranoid. They're observant. And the wildest part? Even if bots are already being used, they're barely working. That's how far the influence has fallen. Here's the simplest truth. None of this would be happening if the music was undeniable. Instead of crafting something meaningful, Drake and 21 leaned on autopilot flows, recycled themes, and brand name hype. And when the audience didn't respond, the reaction wasn't reflection, it was manipulation. That's not artistry. That's insecurity. And hip-hop has a long memory when it comes to moments like this. We're watching the industry separate into two groups. Artists who built careers on craft, evolution, and culture, and artists who built empires on systems that no longer work. When a system changes, the second group collapses. That's why Kendrick thrives. That's why others are rising. And that's why Drake and 21 look increasingly out of place. This isn't hate. It's consequence. Here's the thing. The tracking week isn't finished. Projections are still coming. Chart placements are still settling. And the industry is watching closely. If this is how things look now, imagine what happens when the final numbers lock in. So let me ask you, do you think Mr. Recoup can be saved? Do you think bots, marketing, or controversy can reverse this? Or are we witnessing the beginning of a real, irreversible fall? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Remember to like this video and subscribe to this channel. And as always, stay active.